Thank you. Hello, everybody. Before I start, I said Stephen Bailey, I'm from AOE, but I would really like to thank all the organization from Akeneo and the team making this a really cool event, even though there are not many people sitting here at the moment. They're probably somewhere else, and sitting out or in the partner panel. So what I'm going to do today is take you through what we've been doing with airports using Akeneo, which is really the product that's lying at the heart of the whole story. At that point, I have a few slides about AOE as we are and what we do, and also taking you through the story of OM3 and the retail airport market, why this is so crucial to them to have product data at a very high quality standard, and that's the reason why we're using Akeneo. And then I will go a deep dive a little bit more in what Akeneo really does within OM3 and within the retail market for airports just like Heathrow Airport, Fraport, Singapore Airlines, and so forth. So it is taking really a key role in handling pricing and brand rule management for luxury brands, because that's what actually this is the story about, that selling luxury brands from Heathrow at that point. I will go through in later. AOE, why AOE? The name is like Agile Open Enterprise, and we are an open web company, so we only do open source, and that's actually why we got engaged with Akeneo like several years ago when it started becoming a good product within the PIM solutions, next to Magento at that point, being leveraged there, and we were there like from the very beginning at that start and using open source technology. In this very small niche of airports and airlines, we are called more or less like the world's #1 of non-aviation revenue digitalization company. So we're doing the rolling out now a product with Singapore Airlines, with Heathrow, with Fraport, also having some proof of concept with Lufthansa at that point, with Auckland Airport, and with many other airports so far at that point. And every time we go to these airports and presenting our product solution, we take Akeneo along on this journey and implementing this. So actually we are also in the role of being a system integrator, implementing Akeneo and many other products as well within this solution. And on the other side also, we're in the role of being like a customer to Akeneo, because we sell then this open source license or these licenses then to the airport next to Magento, next to our licenses and other licenses at that point. So we are in a double role at that point. Not only that we do like airports and airlines in this aviation industry, but also we did a lot of things for PlayStation Network, for BMW, for Panasonic, Cisco, Deutsche Telekom. We are on pretty heavy projects right now. So we're like having a very focused 50% of our revenues go into aviation, and the other ones is like the classical B2B, B2C, B2X products that we're doing there. As said, we are a leading open source integrator. We're since 1999 on the market. We do like 26 million euro global revenue. We're like 250 plus people. We have our headquarters in Germany, Frankfurt, Wiesbaden, and also we have an office in the US at that point. We do only enterprise projects, so this is really where we don't go in the lower markets. We're already in the upper markets at that point, always complex solutions. And last but not least, it's really for us software quality made in Germany, because we have all our developers in Germany and not like neon offshoring and so forth, because that's what we really rely on. Doing quality management, doing our development stuff, testing through development based on industry standards and so forth. Looking at the reality of non-aviation revenues and talking about airports and where they do revenues is really not, they don't do many revenues on actually like taking fees from airports landing at their airport, or even though like Singapore Airlines, they don't make much money on really taking passengers on the journey and traveling them throughout the world. Also, they do make a lot of revenues by shopping. And this is the reality they're looking at so far, because in the past, the last 10 years, it was like more like impulse driven, and now it's like people are looking on the telephone. We know that Americans like spend like 4 hours daily on their smartphones. The commerce sales are also in the US up like 25% on the mobile stuff. also in China, and this is a very crucial target group for airports and airlines. They are traveling quite a lot. It's already like 75%. So the disruption really began for the airports and airlines having a shopping mall, which happened to be at a runway. It started disrupting at that point, but it's because it's not only impulse-driven getting to the airport, but it's a plan-driven journey that the customer is going through. And this I would like to share a few market numbers at that point. The market is still growing because the passengers are growing, and the amount of passengers traveling throughout the world is still growing, but actually the passenger per spend is really decreasing dramatically. So this is what we can see in the market, and this is where our product comes in place, and this is where also Akeneo plays a big game in providing product data. Providing product data also means like we have like touch points at home before passengers start traveling, like 35%. Then we have like also being at a destination, 10%, on the way to the airport, at the airport. So there's like over 60-70% of people already looking what they can purchase at an airport or at an airline. And this is also where Akeneo plays, as said, a very important role, placing all this kind of product data in terms of quality, and so they can purchase and we can convert with them. With all these different kind of touch points that we have here, it is of course it is very vital for the airports to have like a great product selection, talking about luxury brands, and also having like great services at the airport as such. But also, and this is where Akeneo plays a big role, is like having great product data and putting this into place. It is planned in advance before the passengers start traveling, so it's really flip-sided for the industry very dramatically. So it's not like displaying my products in the shelves and also the luxury brands stores at the airport, but it's also the way you present all the products and luxury products within your mobile devices, within a desktop or your tablet and things like this. So it's really like in the industries, we can see like in the Asians, they're already like at 83, 79%, or within Germany it's like maybe like 44%. So the impulse is really like decreasing at that point, and it's already planned in advance. Also a pretty important role, and this is again with all the Akeneo product portfolio and the product categories we have. Search online is bought like 47% when you search at that point, or buy in store, or then it is search online and in store. So it's decreasing. So searching products and product data, and we saw this also in other presentations, it's very vital that you have all this kind of qualified information for the customers to see like what I'm going to buy, what I'm going to convert into, and what I'm going to purchase at that point. This is a research by Gartner at that point. So far about the retail market and about the airports. As said, we are not only a system integrator, we are also like having a product suite which is called like OM3, Omnichannel Multi-Merchant Marketplace Suite, is where we have all these kind of different retailers at an airport, online, attached to this marketplace solution, having like multi-split payment implemented in this, and also having all this kind of products in place as such. Here's a quick video just to give you an idea what this journey is about.
Time to wake up.
This is at Heathrow Airport.
There are now over 5 billion mobile users in the world. More people are more connected more of the time than ever before. It affects every decision, changing their behavior, expectations, and every customer journey. This connectivity lets people shop anytime, wherever they are.
We at Mindset have been interviewing travelers all around the world since over a decade, and the most dramatic change is actually the shopping behavior. Nowadays, travelers want to shop 24/7 on their mobile phone, and that's what AOE is offering today, and that's what consumers want, and even more so tomorrow.
So, when it comes to retail, the old certainties have gone. Online retailers have hit everyone's profits, both on the high street and at airports. But there is a way to ensure airports can be relevant to passengers using a digital e-commerce omnichannel marketplace that really works. This provides a genuine window of opportunity for airports through what we call the new quaternity of travel retail. This is a powerful collaboration between airports, airlines, brands, and duty-free retailers, driven by the latest tech. AOE's omnichannel multi-merchant marketplace, or OM3, provides airports with a turnkey end-to-end e-commerce marketplace that enables airports to personalize the passenger shopping experience. The latest research has shown that 79% of airport purchases are now planned in advance, the opposite of previous assumptions. OM3 helps people do this easily, offering more choices on and offline before they travel, as well as during and after their trip. AOE pioneered OM3 at Frankfurt Airport. It's no ordinary airport, with 160,000 passengers passing through each day. This hub is also the biggest shopping mall in Germany. Using customer data and digitalization, OM3 helps unite the entire spectrum of commercial services into a single customer view. Of course, none of this happens by magic. This is Kian Gould, founder and CEO of AOE. It has so far taken more than 30,000 developer days to build an ever-advancing OM3 platform. More than 100 developers are building new solutions for a growing airport and airline customer base.
OM3 is a true omnichannel multi-retailer marketplace that can be customized to your airport's exact needs. The platform can be accessed through the airport's app, through the website, through any third-party channels, APIs and so on, so it's truly omnichannel. Airports have very limited accessibility to their passengers before they actually travel. So this is where we come in with a marketplace that gives the passengers access to the entire offering of the airport pre-flight, while they're at the airport, and even after they have arrived. By collaborating with airlines and other marketplaces like Alibaba, Booking.com and so on, airports can tap into traffic sources they never had access to previously.
So what do the retailers think?
We at Heinemann believe very much in the multi-channel approach, and that means in the power of digital. Working with AOE on general projects, but also specifically on the Frankfurt project, it has brought us to the new word of prototyping, which means testing and learning. For us in this project, it's very important to find out where digital customers have maybe a completely different need to those customers browsing around at the airport.
We've seen some great results at Frankfurt. AOE is helping deliver a 230% increase in basket value versus offline retail and 35% cross-selling. That's compared to the -5% currently happening in retail. London's Heathrow Airport is also taking the first step to creating a holistic offering that covers much more than just retail. Hey, remember this guy? This is Charles. He's on his way to Terminal 2 to fly to New York to meet a new client. He's a busy man, so on his way to the airport, he's browsing for gifts for his niece. He knows there's a Harrods store in the airport, and the Heathrow app helps him find what he's looking for there. So he places an order and then collects it from the store when he gets to the airport.
At Heathrow, our vision is to give passengers a seamless digital experience throughout their journey. We've partnered with AOE to give passengers through Heathrow Boutique the opportunity to browse an unrivaled range of over 20,000 products, many of them luxury items, which they can then reserve and collect as they travel through the airport. This is part of our overall vision to give passengers the opportunity to order all of the different products and services that we have available for them at Heathrow.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, there's an even more ambitious take on omnichannel multi-retailer commerce and fulfillment coming to life in Auckland. Pen Leon's been visiting friends here, and now she's heading home to Shanghai. She really loves to shop when she's traveling, but you can see that. The OM3 platform isn't just for Auckland Airport itself. It also covers over 200 stores in downtown Auckland. The great thing is, she's got everything she wanted duty-free, and the store will deliver to the airport so she can pick it all up at the gate. And now she can relax, with plenty of time to check out what the airport has to offer. And if she still thinks she's missed something, she can simply buy it directly in Auckland's The Mall online store and collect it together with her downtown purchases in one simple transaction.
The vision for our online mall is to create a virtual marketplace where our customers can shop the best of airport retail when and where it's convenient for them. A key advantage of the proposition we have is that you can shop multiple different airport retailers and check out with a single convenient basket. One of the other advantages of partnering with AOE and the OM3 platform is we have developed a solution which enables visitors to New Zealand to shop tax-free downtown and conveniently pick it up and collect it here at the airport.
So that's OM3. It's changing the way we travel, and it's a win-win-win solution for passengers, retailers, and airports. It genuinely reflects passengers' needs, and it delivers. Passengers want choice, speed, authenticity, and connectivity, and they want it now.
OM3 ticks all these boxes. It captures those micro moments in which a passenger makes a decision to become a purchaser or not. And it extends the golden hour to a golden week or a golden month.
So how can AOE help you make your airport ready for the next generation of passengers? Well, we think we may have a few ideas that you might like.
Yes, and when you see all these kind of stories and business cases, very, very ambitious, with airports doing lots of revenues, for example, Heathrow that has a purchase of an average per basket like £500. Even though Auckland Airport, the biggest purchase they did because of the downtown shopping, you have a lot of luxury brands there, is like 427,000 New Zealand dollars. This is really crazy. So looking at Akeneo at that point, providing all this product data in a very high quality, and also looking at luxury brands with all their different kind of rules that I bring along to say, like, look, we don't want to leverage all the business into the internet and online because we still have these kind of flex stores. We have our products placed there. So please only sell like 1 or 2 of these products per day, or even though just per person. So we have all these kind of different rules next to all the product details, information of how big is this, what kind of colors, what kind of stock availability do we have, also what kind of availability do we have. Like, it could be like on airport fulfillment, taking this from one store into the lounge access, to the gate, to the airport, and to the airlines, and even though home delivery. So having all this product data available with all these kind of categories and all these kind of options that a business case, like at a shopping mall, like or digital marketplace at an airport brings along, this has been quite a big challenge. And the next slides, I would like to give a bit of a deep dive to say, like, what do we cover on the businesses, and also what does this architecture look like, and what in detail, to have a closer look, it is about Akeneo, and what does Akeneo really provide that, and what have we developed so far to nurture all this kind of business cases that we have with airports at that point. In spring, we were going to launch also with Singapore Airlines. It will be in-flight shopping at that point. So this brings along another 3 pieces of challenges. A lot of brands coming along for the Asian market. And just to give you a quick overview, what this is, OM3 is all about. So we have like also integrated, not from the passenger experiences, like you can book parking, you can book fast track, you can do personalized offers, e-commerce marketplace, on-premise fulfillment, the mobile shopping, VIP services, loyalty, lounge access. So all these we cover with our solution, driving the revenues of non-aviation at the airports and the airlines, which is very vital to them because, as said, their business case lies more than having a shopping mall or a luxury shop like an airline to sell all the stuff and not just have a trolley go through with an airline to sell the ordinary stuff that everybody really doesn't really purchase. And I think you've experienced it on your way flying here to Paris, maybe on your own, and we'll see. Maybe with Paris Charles de Gaulle we'll have another case coming up. So do a big quick dive and giving you an overview of the architecture, what we provide and what are the front-end pieces and what are the business services and what is in the back-end. And you can see right in the middle we have like Akeneo there, which is really the beating heart of all the product data, delivering this into these kind of other components that we have. In general, there's an airport website. Sometimes we do this, sometimes we don't. We have a lot of information, but of course this is then integrated also on the airport website, where you can also purchase products. For example, even though when you do Google search at Heathrow Airport, even there we have the product data available, showing that when the passenger is looking, oh, where is that brand store, whatever, and he will find a product and he straight away jumps into the e-commerce front end. So we provide Akeneo product data right into the Google search and driving conversion into the e-commerce front end at that point, and also apps that bring along. So a lot of product data, content, pricing, inventory, is this available, and so forth, goes into the front end. The business services, we have like the e-commerce section and the order management. So e-commerce, this is like where we use Magento to a certain extent. Then we bring along our own enterprise search and recommendation engine with all the personalization. Again, is this where we provide a lot of product data just on a live search, live suggest, and also even though widgets that when a passenger clicks through a website, he gets like product data shown in little widgets accordingly to his click process, or maybe even though via his Google referrer. Of course, in the middle we have Akeneo. I'll come to this later on. In the next few slides, we're talking about more deeply about what we do there and what this looks really like and what we've customized so far at that point. Then we have a call center as well. With the order management, we use MCOM from Magento with the distributed order management, the inventory management. On airport fulfillment, we have our own solution with this in-store fulfillment, payment, fraud, and risk management. We provide at that point, working together with a payment service provider. And then, of course, last but not least, there's a lot of integration that has been done bringing this live and having all these kind of components which are all API-based, communicating with each other, even though Akeneo is also communicating with enterprise search and e-commerce via APIs and connections, integrating that in this point. For the backends, we have retailer portal where the retailers can maintain all their product data at that point, which we built accordingly to them, because it's not only product data they maintain there, it's also about all the legal requirements, all about the descriptions of the retailer, the brands and stuff like this. I'll get to this also later. And then last but not least, when you book online, like 2 weeks ahead before your flight, you have to be integrated with booking information. So you enter your bookings reference number, and then you get access to the shop, and then you can buy the products that are displayed from the product database of Akeneo. So there's also a lot of connections going on between the retailers, the backends, the pricing, the inventory, fulfillment, logistics, all the rulings and stuff like this. But Akeneo is playing really a key role at that point, accordingly to that. Next. As said, key role handling prices and brand rules. Just a few numbers, just with Frankfurt Airport, Heathrow, we have more or less like the same. We have like plus 20 users. We have in the whole system at that point, we have like 120K products. At that point, we have a lot of direct interfaces, API and Excel spreadsheets to upload all this kind of data into Akeneo at that point. The channel is e-commerce and apps, and the duration of the whole project was like 10 months, and Akeneo was about 2 months of developing time, setting all this up with all this kind of rules. Getting more into detail about the PIM and the product information system, of course, I mean, this is something that probably all of you know. It's like we maintain all the structure for the retailers, also the marketing at that point, with the portfolio and category maintenance is all done per channel, and also quality control. You know this is not much really customized so far at that point, but of course when it gets down to pricing and to campaigning and all these things I will show in the next slides, this is where we started customizing Akeneo quite a lot, also deploying this into these airports aviation sections. It also requires a lot of attributes per family. It means it has to be checked per local. There are also optional manual approval processes implemented with Akeneo at that point, running through this. So also there we customize quite a few things there at that point. And when it comes then to also uploading the things, of course, I mean, this is what you probably all have. We have like API based, we have like SFTP and protocols, uploading all of those products. And then, of course, I mean, this what Akeneo brings along is also that you can see, okay, where are my errors and stuff like this, doing all this kind of media uploaded completely via Akeneo, which we really customize quite a lot. And this is where it becomes very vital to understand also what is about the travel retail market and all about the luxury products. Is like all these different kind of badges, like binary flags, like exclusive feature, also the data range to mark products as new and things like this. This comes along more or less like standard, but the pricing becomes very, let's say, more in detail. You have different kind of taxes wherever you are, whatever airport, wherever airline, where you purchase these things. You have like also the different rules of like non-Schengen, Schengen, and these kind of things. We have regular pricings on the airport, and then of course we have the downtown shopping. So we have optional special prices for discount and ranges they bring along. They're very customer-specific groups pricings at that point. Looking at retailers, and the retailers have then their luxury brands, and they have like different kind of luxury brands, which are similar to each other, but they're not allowed to display at the same time on the website for the customer to purchase. So they do not have to they're not allowed to compete with each other. So we have more like landing pages displaying the brands at that point. And this is pretty vital to do this kind of business and also to onboard all this kind of luxury products. So we, of course, we have like L'Oreal we've been talking to, also a Paris company here. They're pretty happy because since they've seen this solution and also maintained by Akeneo and also displaying this then really nicely in the front end at that point, having all this kind of product data accordingly, this is really for them very, very thrilling and a very, very big business case because that's very vital for them. Then, of course, promotion and campaigns come along. Accordingly, three for two, buy one, get one free, and all this kind of things that come along at the airport, and they have very specific requirements again, because you do not do campaigns with different kind of luxury brands, maybe only separate luxury brands as such. So that's very vital for them. And the next thing which we pointed out, on which we had to develop then by ourselves, but I understand that I think with 3.0 of Akeneo, you have something similar to this. We'll have to have a look at this more in detail, but this is pretty advanced because being at an airport, you have like different kind of locations, and you have a passenger that travels along, coming through security, going to the gate, and might not come by his brand store or whatever, and he needs different kind of delivery options at that point. So with the master data portal, we manage all this kind of data of like the gates, the zones, even though the toilets, the showers, and everything like this, which doesn't go along with the PIM. For us, the PIM is more like to say like, hey, this is all about products, about product categories, families, and details, but this is more like additional information that come along with the products, which are very vital when you want to purchase this. All the retailers, the services, the facilities, and also the brand locations and the general information is matched at that point. So this is integrated then with the PIM solution, bringing this along to making this a seamless customer journey for our passengers at the airport or airlines. So coming to the end, for us it is very important to make, like we call it, an unobtrusive e-commerce. You just swipe and collect, you return to your airport, you get like products, informations again displayed because would you like to purchase this, there might be some updates, some new products, or accordingly to a belt, there's a new trousers been set up by Hugo Boss that maybe fit what you've just purchased 2 months ago or half a year ago. So all these things come along as well, and this is what we are maintaining within Akeneo. And last but not least, of course, talking about And the mobile experience is also where we have all this product data out of Akeneo is like to have like a catalog scanning. So even though to have the possibility to scan a catalog and see the picture, understand it, and then display it on a mobile device, have the flight information, whether the destination, contextual offers, exclusivity. Also, all these kind of attributes are also maintained then within Akeneo to display this accordingly to the seasonal campaigns they're bringing along at the airport. And also suggested categories accordingly to the behavior of our passengers at that point. Just some examples. So when airlines they have their catalogs, and there's a break of the different kind of media. So this is what we have as well. We have with our search solution, we identify this kind of picture and then we can display it. Then you can purchase it via authorized payment or even via WeChat payment at that point. Yeah, so to end my presentation is also like what we're looking at and we're very excited about. We're going to launch, as said, like Singapore Airlines in spring. And also there, it is just a small story. We're going to start having like an ordinary luxury, it's called Chris Shop, purchasing these products. But of course, it will take those things then into in-flight purchasing in the business class, in the economy class, so that they don't have any catalogs anymore, so people can purchase products while they're flying like 2-3 hours to the next destination, and then they can pick it up wherever they're going to be and take this luxury product or whatever kind of item they purchase alongside at that point. And again, is product data coming out of Akeneo and also product category families at that point, displaying in these kind of surroundings at that point. Thank you very much.